baseball fans. Welcome to the 1995 Major League Baseball season. This is opening day of April, well, opening day for most teams. The first games were played on April 25th, 1995, and today's games will be from Wednesday, April 26th, 1995. You can see it's a full slate of games. We did have one, Dodgers at the Marlins on April 25th, but we are playing the Braves. So this will be the Atlanta Braves 1995 championship season, replayed using the game of dice baseball. And what I'm planning to do is also to go through and actually use the game simulation chart to figure out winners and losers and sort of keep some standings along the way. So the way this chart works is we take each team. We obviously are going to play this game, and then it's going to be the Twins at the Red Sox. That'll be game number one. And we are going to find the home team on the left-hand side, the away team on the top side of this sheet. And we're going to use their actual winning percentages for the first week. And then as we get into a week's worth of games, each team should have their own winning percentage based on the previous year. And then I'll be using that updated winning percentage. So this is truly going to be not a carbon copy of the 95 season, but an actual season of its own. So I have the standings here. So it's going to be the Twins at the Red Sox. So Minnesota had a 389 winning percentage. Boston 597. So Boston is at home. So we come down and we find the closest one. Closest to 597 is 600. And the closest to 389 is, if it were 390, I'd round up, but I round down at 380. So where 600 meets 380, that's 70. So 1 to 70, that's going to be a winner for Boston. I guess we should determine the black die is the first die. I guess we should determine that first. All right, so 53, that's going to be a win for Boston. And Boston goes to 1-0. Minnesota goes to 0-1. All right, so we're just going to move down the list here. Detroit at California. Detroit, there they are. They're in the East. So 417 against 538 at home. 538, so 540 to 417, that's 420. So they're going to meet right here. So 1 to 61, that's a winner for the home team. A 0-5 is a winner. So that's going to be 1-0 for the Angels. 0-1 to Detroit. Now, one thing I've noticed in doing the simulation chart is scores may come out. I mean, they're going to come out pretty close to their records. They might not have beaten the teams that they beat in the regular season. So their actual records against each team is not going to be necessarily the same, but on average, they're going to come out within a few wins, typically, of their actual standings. So Chicago and Cincinnati, this is based off of some research that Bill James did a very long time ago. So the Cubs in the Central Division, Cubs at 507, the Reds at 590. So 500 and 590. It's a 1 to 60 is a winner for the Reds. It's a 65, so that's going to be a win by the Cubs on the road as they defeat Cincinnati. New York, 479, so 480 at Colorado. Colorado played really well, got into the playoffs, 535. So we'll say 540 is the closest, and 480. So it'll be a 1 to 56. That's a win for the Rockies. A 99, that's going to be a win for the Mets. So the Mets take game one. The Dodgers and the Marlins. Dodgers in the West, 542 was their winning percentage. Marlins in the East, 469. So 460 and 540, where they come together, it's a 1-58. That's a win. Oh, I'm sorry. The Marlins are at home, right? 469 and 540. So a 43, 1-43 is a win for the Marlins. Yeah, it's a 49, so that's a win to the Dodgers. And if you want to skip this part in the video, you can. But kind of interesting to see how things are going to shake out, and I'll create a full-on standings. Baltimore at KC. Back to the American League. Baltimore 493 and Kansas City 486. So 480 and 500. So 1-48 is a win for the Royals. It's a 48, and that's going to be a winner for KC. White Sox at the Brewers. 451, 472. So 451 I'll round up. 472 I'll also round up. Seems only fair. And so that's actually a 48. 1-48 is a winner for the Brewers. Yeah, it's a 92. So those teams pretty evenly matched, basically a 50-50 roll. Rangers at the Yankees. Rangers here at a 514 clip, the Yankees at 549. So we'll say 540 and 520. So that's going to be a 1-52 is a win for the Yankees. That's a winner. We got one more American League game. Let's just go ahead and do the American League. So the Blue Jays in the cellar of the AL East at a 389 winning percentage. Oakland in the cellar of the AL West. So 465 at 389. So tough fall from grace for Toronto. 389 is 380. I'm sorry, 380 here. And 465 is 460. So a 1-43 is going to be a win for the Blue Jays. That's a 62, so that's a winner for Oakland. Both of those teams coming off of perennial championship type years to really a fall from grace in the mid to late 90s. Montreal and Pittsburgh. Got the Expos in the basement here, 458 at Pittsburgh, 403. So 400, 458 is 460. So a 1-44 is going to be a winner for the Pirates. And the Pirates win on opening day. And last two more games before we get into our game in this Braves replay. Houston at San Diego. So Houston 528, San Diego 486. So 1-46 is a winner for the Padres. And that's a win. Last game of the day, Phillies Cardinals. Phillies at 479, Cardinals at 434. So we'll call the Cardinals 440, Phillies 480. That's going to be a 1-46 is a win for St. Louis. And that'll be a Phillies win on opening day. So you can see that's 2 misses, 3, 4. Got that one right, wrong, right, right, wrong, right, wrong, correct, and then we'll see that one. So we're at about 50-50 or so on that. So we'll have the standings updated as we go along, but we'll put this away now. This is called the simulation, the game simulation chart, and I've used it for on-base baseball, and I'm just kind of pulling it out, but you can use it for anything, really. It's built off of Bill James's log5 method, and then I took those averages and I put them into a 1-100 roll. So you can see a 300 team against a 300 team obviously is going to be a 50-50 chance, right? So that's sort of mathematical probabilities of the team with 2 records that are the same, going against each other. So if you're 600, your 580 win team is facing another one, 580 win team, then it's a 50-50 chance. But as you move toward worse teams, your chances get bigger this way. And as these teams move against better teams, then their odds go down this way. Let's see a problem here. That should be a 25. Should be 25s all around. All right. So it's an interesting chart. If you want to read more about it, this is where I got the math for it. So I actually put that link down in there so you can see how in the world did he get to all this. Is he a genius? I'm not a genius. I just know how to read and read sabermetric, saber.org quite a bit. All right, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. Today's game is the Giants at the Braves. I have a 90s game engine here. So this is probably the first time anyone has seen that before. I created this just for this replay. I don't have any seasons like 1990. So let's try to get everything on here so we can see it. We're going to get the cards on here. I got my my charts here that I'll be using for the game. The dice. Only need 1 D10. So these are the dice that we need. 2 D6s, a third D6, or some sort of 50-50 type die. If you have one with blanks and dots, that will work. We have our teams here. So we got the Giants and we have the Braves. I've already set these aside. I've separated out the benches and the bullpens. So I have kind of who I'm going to use for the game. Also, I have those separated out here. You can see I've made these little pockets, these little holders for the bench and the bullpen, so I can just go right to them and pull them out. Same thing, I've made two kinds. This is a newer one. The other one was sort of the initial prototype, but just some way to make it easier to go through my cards during the game. I did that. All right, let's run through the starting lineups really quickly. This is the Giants at 95 Giants at the 95 Braves. Again, this was a championship year for Atlanta, but it took them a while before they got to first place. But once they got rolling, they steamrolled the National League, and then wound up winning the World Series 4-2 over Cleveland. So leading off for San Francisco is Darren Lewis, the center fielder. Robbie Thompson plays second, batting second. Barry Bonds is in left. He's hitting third. Matty Williams, um, he what was he? He was a young player. I don't know if he was quiet. I think he was a rookie the year before, maybe. But Matty Williams playing third base. Glenn Allen Hill, Bombs Hill. You know, he's hit some mad bombs in his life. He's playing right field. Surprisingly, stole a lot of bases early in his career. This was his first team, I think. J.R. Phillips playing first base, precursor to J.T. Snow and some other first basemen that they would bring along later. Royce Clayton, the shortstop. Kurt Merriwearing is pitching. And then batting ninth is Terry Mulholland, who at this point was in the middle of his career, crafty left-hander, and really a good pitcher over the long term. For Atlanta, it's going to be Marquise Grissom in center. Jeff Blauser is the shortstop. Chipper Jones in his first full season playing third base. Freddie Mac, and that's the crime dog, Fred McGriff, playing first. Dave Justice in right. Hitting sixth is Javi Lopez. Hitting seventh in this game is Mike Kelly. So no Klesko in this game, but Mike Kelly in left. Mark Lemke, the Lemmer, is at second base. And on the mound for opening day is Gregory Maddux. So Maddux, Cy Young Award winner that year, 19-2, a 163 ERA, 209 and 2/3 innings, 23% K percentage, a 3% walk percentage. It's ridiculous. 0.3 home runs per nine. Only gave up 8 home runs in 200 and almost 210 innings. A good strikeout ratio, 181 in 209 innings. No balks. He started 28 games. He gave up 23 walks in 209 innings. Just sort of video game ridiculous numbers that year. And I think by midsummer, everybody knew he was going to win the Cy Young. He led the major leagues, all of the major leagues in WHIP at .81. Mulholland, not so good. 5-13 with a 5.80 ERA. He had 24 starts. Pitched 149 innings. 10% strikeout rate and 6% walk rate. Kind of a high average against, and definitely high home runs against. 25 home runs in only 149 innings. So struggled with the long ball. I played a little test game with these two, and the Braves won 6-5, and that Dave Justice hit a granny against him that put the Braves ahead. But Maddux gave up 5 runs in that game, so we'll see we'll see how it goes here. If he's going to be able to hold true to form. I did add a little bit more offense into the 90s game engine. Not a lot, but a little bit more offense. And kind of bumped up some numbers like here. Instead of the home runs being at 5, I put them at 8. It's a little more homer happy. There were a lot more guys with 5 home runs here than in the 1970s. Excuse me. So that's how it is. Darren Lewis, Robbie Thompson, Barry Bonds. That's going to be your first 3 against Gregory Maddux, the right-handed pitcher from Atlanta, and the 1995 season is underway. Here's a 14. A 14 is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to center field, and the center fielder is Grissom. He's going to make the play for out number 1, and the crowd goes crazy as this season gets going. You can see it with the cards. I printed them on cardstock. I've gone ahead and printed the backs as well, so, and cut the corners. So I figure I'm going to do a whole season replay. I might as well, do them upright. And so the cards are looking good. It's going to be another fly ball. This time it's a rare play. So let's check our rare play fly ball chart. So we roll again. We have a 9. And the left fielder takes a bad route to the ball in the gap, and the ball rolls to the wall. All runners advance 2 bases. So with nobody on, that's going to be a double for Robbie Thompson as he smokes one to left field. And the left fielder out there is Mike Kelly. Kelly takes a bad route to the ball and can't get there as it rolls all the way to the wall. Barry Bonds stands in. Bonds We got a little decision here. Wild pitches, are they greater than 5? He had 1 wild pitch. So we're going to go to a rare chart again. And this time for the pitcher. Mhm. There it is. All right. So it's catcher's interference. And the batter goes to first. All runners advance 1 base. That's going to be an E2 on the catcher's interference. And all batters advance 1 base on the catcher's interference. I believe that's right. But I don't know. I'm going to play it that way. I'll have to look that up. I don't have a way to look it up now, but I'll look up catcher's interference. I think everybody gets to move up 1 base. I think that's the penalty. So runners at first and third, only 1 out. Matt Williams to the plate. Williams, 336 average in 318 plate appearances, 23 home runs in only 283 at bats. A harbinger of things to come in that third baseman's life. It's going to be a pop out, and this is a foul out to the catcher. So Maddox gets it up and in on him. So we're going to say a foul out to 2. No one is going to advance on that play, as Williams is unable to drive in the run, frustrated as he goes back to the dugout. Glenn Allen Hill, last chance for San Francisco in this inning. That's going to be a low grounder that goes out to the third baseman. Chipper Jones, no problem with that one as he fires it over to first base, and that is going to be the 3rd out. As Maddox wriggles out of a jam, the error does not hurt them. The Giants get 2 on, 1 via a hit, 1 via an error, and can't score the run. So we head to the bottom of the 1st inning, and the Giants are going to send out Terry Mulholland against Marquise Grissom, Jeff Blauser, and Chipper Jones. It's going to be a base hit for Marquise Grissom as he hits it down the left field line. Cutting it off in left field is the left fielder Barry Bonds, and he gets the ball back in quickly. He keeps Grissom at first base. Grissom, 29 stolen bases. We're just going to go ahead and try to steal with him here. He's at a 76% clip, so that means he's got a pretty good chance of making it to second base. Pull up our chart here. So we roll our 1d10. That's a 10, and a 10 is going to be a steal with an E2. And the runner advances 1 base. So it's going to be a stolen base. The ball is thrown away. And that's going to be an E2 as Marquise Grissom winds up at third base. Manwaring air mails it into center field, a little rusty in game 1. And the Braves are in business, third base with nobody out. Blauser stands in. He's going to pop out, and this is a foul out to the second baseman as he pops it up down the right field line. Coming over hard is Thompson in foul territory, and he's going to make the catch, and that's out number 1. As Mulholland jams Blauser, gets up in his kitchen, and we have 1 down with a runner at third base. Can the Braves drive this runner in? Chipper Jones. Jones, 265 average, 23 homers, 86 RBIs in his first full season. 34 is going to be, if Jones's hits are less than 100, it's a hard grounder. Otherwise, it's a single. He's got 139 hits, so that's going to be a base knock. And the Braves get on the board first as Chippewa Jones hits a single for the first hit of the game. He hits that out down the right field line. And we have 1 down with Chipper Jones at first base. Jones, even in a young age, 8 of 12, not really stealing a lot of bases, probably stealing trying one or two a month, not running a lot. So if the pitcher's average is less or greater than 299, it's a single. His average is 313, so that's going to be a base knock for Freddie Mac, and that's to straightaway right. Chipper Jones is going to hold at first or second base. So we have two on with only one out. And Dave Justice to the plate. This is about how like the second inning played out for the Braves in the game that I played before. This will be another foul out, this time down the left field line. And the left fielder is Bonds. He runs over just into foul territory and he makes the catch. So that's going to be a foul out to 7. All the runners are going to hold here as Justice pops that one up down the left field line, and that's out number 2. Javi Lopez, big right-handed catcher. He is going to hit a deep fly ball. That's to center field. Back on his horse is Darren Lewis, and he is going to make the catch in deep center field, and that will be out number 3. The Braves get 1, but they leave 2 on, and they take the 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the second inning. Maddox will be facing off against J.R. Phillips, Royce Clayton, and Terry Mulholland. 55 says if his home runs are greater than 30, it's a home run. He only has 9, so that's going to be a double as he hits one to right center field. And Grissom can't get there as Phillips has stung a double, and he's standing up at second base. Brings up Royce Clayton, the shortstop. Clayton, this is he's got 29 doubles. If his doubles were greater than 30, it would be a double. Otherwise, it's a single. So that's going to be a base knock for Royce Clayton. And the runner goes over to third on the single as he hits this one to right field. What is Phillips not really a threat to steal, so we're going to keep him there with nobody out. We got runners at the corners. It's Kurt Manwaring to the plate. Are his walks, is his walk percentage less than 5%? It is not. And so he's going to take a walk. That's going to load the bases. And Maddox in all kinds of hot water here. He's got the bases loaded with nobody out. We're going to try a little squeeze play here with Terry Mulholland. So we have our squeeze chart. It's a 2. A 2 is a sacrifice hit. Fielder's choice 1 to 2, and the run scores and runners advance 1 base. So we call it a sacrifice hit. The fielder's choice, it's Maddox trying to scoop it and throw it to the plate. The runner is safe at third. Everybody's going to be safe on this one. So the fielder's choice is 1 to 2. So I think we just score it this way. Everybody's going to be safe. I believe he gets an RBI for the fielder's choice. So we're going to score it that way. And just like that, the Giants tied up at 1, still with the bases loaded and nobody out. Is Maddox's average greater than 299? It is not. It is under 200, so excellent pitchers. So that's going to be a strikeout. But it comes with a rare play. So we do have rare plays on strikeouts as well. Strikeouts, foul outs, errors, any of those have their own set of rare plays. So let's roll for that one. A 4 says it's a wild pitch on strike 3. The batter's safe at first. Oh, this inning is ridiculous. And so he's going to be safe at first. We get the strikeout, but no out is recorded. Everybody moves up 1 base, and that's going to be another run. So a wild pitch. Wild pitch for Maddox. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for him. So we'll say 1 on the wild pitch. What am I doing? That's not the people. All right, so that was Darren Lewis. He winds up at first base. Bases are still loaded. And Bobby Cox is going to bring the infield in on this one. So infield is in, and we have our chart for that over here. So what we do with the infield in is we roll like normal, and we have bases loaded and nobody out. We roll like normally, and then if it's a ground ball, we'll use that chart. Of course, it's not. It's going to be a grand slam home run for Robbie Thompson. His home runs are not less than 8. So Robbie Thompson goes bombs, and Maddox's season all of a sudden is very different than it was. So that's going to score everybody, and the Giants take a huge lead in this one. I'm not going to bring Maddox out. Not yet. 6 runs in. The lead is 6-1 in the second inning. Still nobody out. At least we don't have to play the infield in. This is going to be a base knock, and it just goes from bad to worse as Barry Bonds is on with a base hit. And he's standing at first base, and it'll be Matt Williams to the plate. That's going to be a walk to Matty Williams. Still nobody out, and San Francisco has batted around. This is going to be a grounder to short. Ground ball to short. Let's check our runner advancement chart. Bases loaded. The out is to second base. So it's going to be a fielder's choice here. And then you're going to be safe here, 6-4. Advances here. So at least they did get the 1 out. So 1 out now. And we're going to move this way. So 1 out, and we are officially battered around. So J.R. Phillips stands in. Phillips started everything off with a double. Here he's going to strike out. Maddox gets him looking on fastball. Tails back on the tails back to the inside corner, and he gets him looking. That's going to be out number 2. Royce Clayton, the batter. This is going to be a deep shot. That's out to right center field. On his horse is Grissom, and he is going to get there just short of the track. And mercifully, the inning is over. So that's 4-6 runs on a bunch of hits and a bunch of walks. And just, you'd never be able to tell with Maddox. He's got his poker face. But boy, frustrated at that. Same thing happened in the last game. He gave up 5 runs, but then they came back and scored 6. So no need to worry just yet about the Braves. I think they have enough offense to get back in this one. But going to have to show it. It's Mike Kelly, Mark Lemke, and Greg Maddux, which may need to hit for Maddux here. We'll see. The pitch to Kelly is... we have a conditional here. If his K percentage is greater than 20, it's not. Pitch to Kelly, 3-2. He misses outside, and Kelly goes down to first base. Kelly, 7 out of 10 stealing. Let's go ahead and try to get him to second base. Just going to be aggressive here and see if we can get the Braves back into the game a little bit. 2, he's going to be in there safely. And so that's a stolen base for Mike Kelly as he winds up at second base. Brings up the limmer, Mark Lemke, switch hitting second baseman for the Braves. Had a terrific postseason. 10, 20 hits. I mean, it was a lot. This time he is going to, are his hits greater than 130? They're not. So he's going to ground to second base. That's going to get the runner over. And we'll say 4-3 on that put out. Now a decision. Do we take Greg Maddux out? don't know exactly what I got in the bullpen here. I don't think I have anybody long. A long reliever. So Maddox is going to have to gut it out and see if he can get through, 5 or 6 innings. Sorry, Greg. Let's see if he can drive in a run, help himself out. 46, that's going to be a deep fly ball. That'll be good enough as he hits one well to center field. Center fielder is Lewis. He camps under it a few steps short of the track, and that's going to wind up scoring the run from third base. Any deep fly ball is going to score a runner from third. So Maddox gets a hand from his teammates as he comes back, and he knocks in the second run for the Braves. It's now 6-2, San Francisco. Brings Marquise Grissom back to the plate. Grissom singled and scored in his first at-bat. It's a fly ball. This one's hit well into left center field. Back on his horse with his back to the infield is Darren Lewis, and he makes a spectacular catch in center field, running straight to the wall. And he bumps up against the wall just a little bit and gets it back in. That'll be the third out of the inning. The Braves go down, but they do score one, and the score is now 6-2. Braves send Maddox back out for more work. He's going to promptly have men wearing, he jams them, pops them up down the first base line. In pursuit is the first baseman and the second baseman, but it's going to be Lemke who makes the catch in foul territory for out number 1. Kurt Manwaring down. And Terry Mulholland takes his first at-bat of the year. 102 average in 54 plate appearances. He's going to have a chance for a home run here, but it's going to get stymied as Maddox actually has home runs per nine less than 4 or 0.4. So that's going to be a double, though, for Mulholland. Mulholland with 1 double, 1 triple, 1 home run, so not inconceivable. And he is going to be standing. He's going to be standing at first base with a double to right center field. Brings up Darren Lewis as the Giants have brought their hitting shoes today. Lewis is going to strike out. That's going to be a strikeout swinging. And that's out number 2. 2 down now with a runner at second base. And the batter is Robbie Thompson. Robbie Thompson with the huge grand slam. He's 2 for 2 in his first 2 at-bats. Has a double, a grand slam, and now he's got a little ground ball right back to the pitcher, Maddox. No problem with that as he flips it over first base. And he gets out of the inning, strands the runner at second base. And it is still 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. The Braves are going to send Blauser, Chipper Jones, and Fred McGriff to the plates. Pitch is on the way. It's a little slide piece. And let's see what the rare play is on that. It's a strikeout. But let's see what the rare play is for that. A 7. 7 on a strikeout. Wild pitch on strike 3. The catcher throws wildly to first, and the batter advances to second. So we have for Blauser, that's going to be a strikeout. And it's going to be called a wild pitch. And then he gets to second on the E2. So just like that, runner at second base. And Manwaring with 2 throwing errors in this one. Not a great start to his season. Brings up Chipper Jones with a man in scoring position. Jones is 1 for 1. He had an RBI single in his first at-bat. This time, his average is 265, so that's not him. So he's going to ground hard to... He's going to ground out hard to the shortstop. That's going to keep Blauser at second base. He's not going to advance in front of the ball. So Chipper Jones grounds out hard at short. Clayton over to first for out number 1. Brings up the crime dog, Fred McGriff. Are his hits less than 100? They're not, so that's going to be a base knock for McGriff. That's his second hit of the day as he hits that one into left center field. And going to third is Blauser. Let's see if we can send him. He's got 8 stolen bases. And when we look at our advancement chart here, this is our extra base chart. So we can see here he fits into this one. Let's go ahead and try to send him. Even on the ball to left field, Bonds, not the greatest arm ever. So what we're rolling is our D10. And a 9 or a 10, he's out. Otherwise, it's something else. And of course, it's a 9. As Barry Bonds throws him out at the plate. And that's out number 2. McGriff is going to hold at first base. Braves just can't buy. They can't buy any luck today. And so Mulholland, 2 outs, runner at first base, and the batter is going to be David Justice. Justice popped out or flied out to left field in his first at bat. 36 is going to be grounded hard, this time to the third baseman. Matt Williams is up to it. He rockets it over to first, and that's going to be out number 3. So for all that activity, the Braves get nothing, and they spoil the runner at second base. With nobody out, can't get him home. And so we head to the top of the 4th inning, and it's going to be Bonds, Matt Williams, and Glenn Allen Hill. So this is going to be a little liner, and that's to second base. Maddox saws him off. Going to go L4 on that. And the catch is made by Lemke for out number 1. Little soft liner to second. Matt Williams to the plate. Williams is 0 for 1. Here he's going to hit a deep fly ball, and we have a rare play. So let's see what happens on that rare play. A 3. Williams gives it a deep ride to center field. The center fielder makes the catch, and he slams into the wall. That's Grissom on his horse as he makes the catch and gives up his body at the wall. He says he's okay, and he's going to stay in the game. Matt Williams down for out number 2. 55 here. They are facing Greg Maddux, so this is always going to be true, and that's going to be a double instead of a home run for Glenn Allen Hill. So Maddux has prevented a couple of home runs so far just by way of his prowess. 29 doubles for Glenn Allen Hill as he shoots one to the right center field gap, and he is going to be standing at second base with 2 outs. Brings up J.R. Phillips. Phillips with a double and a strikeout. He batted 195 during the season, 252 plate appearances. In this at-bat, he is going to hit a little grounder out in front of the plate. Javi Lopez jumps on it, gets the angle, and throws it down to first for the out. The Giants strand the runner at second base, and they still lead 6-2, but Maddux has definitely settled down after a horrendous second inning. For the Braves, it's going to be the bottom of the order: Javi Lopez, Mike Kelly, and the Lemmer, Mark Lemke. It's going to be a deep drive. That's down the left field line, and on his horse is Barry Bonds, and he's in the corner, and he makes the catch a couple of steps short of the wall, and that's going to be out number 1 as Javi Lopez gave that one a ride, but Bonds gets there in time. 1 out with Mike Kelly to the plate. Is the whip of the pitcher less than 1? It is not. So that's going to be a base knock for Mike Kelly as he hits one over the second baseman's head and into right field. That's going to be his first hit of the day. Kelly stands at first. Let's try to steal with him again. We had good success last time. He's on for the second time. And pull up our stolen base chart. So Kelly, a 70% stealer. So if it's 70 or more, a 7 is going to be out as he gets caught this time. So that's going to be out number 2. Kelly get his hand in the cookie jar. Getting a little greedy. The Braves doing whatever they can to just try to get somebody in scoring position and claw back into this game a run at a time. Nobody's hitting home runs, so they gotta do what they can to make things happen. If the home run percentage for Terry Mulholland is greater than 1, that's a bomb. It is. And I'm sorry, home runs per 9. It's a 150. So just like that, the Limmer gets a hold of one and into right center field as he goes opposite field on that. And he's going to hit a bomb. And that gives the Braves, or pulls them within 6-3. Wow, hard to talk. So 6-3 is our score. Going to keep Maddox in there. He's only gone 4 innings. He's standing in with 2 outs and 1 in for the Braves. Mulholland is going to issue a walk to the pitcher, and that's not so good. As Maddox gets on board with the base on balls in front of Marquise Grissom. Grissom is 1 for 2. He's got a single, and he flied out to deep center field in his last at bat. This time that's going to be a strikeout, but we got a rare play on the strikeout. So let's see what happens there. We'll make our roll. It's an 8. The batter strikes out, but the catcher drops the ball. He does throw it down to first on time, and the batter Grissom is going to be out for out number 3. So that's going to be a strikeout. I think we just call that a strikeout, right? So that's going to be out number 3. I don't know if you do a strikeout. Maybe you do a 2-3 for the putout. I don't know exactly how you score a drop third strike, but maybe something like that. All right, so that's going to be the end of the 4th inning. The Braves do get one more. It's now 6-3 as they are climbing steadily back into this one. If I'd stop running, maybe they'd have a few more runs, but just trying to do anything to kind of get them in the game. Okay, so it's Royce Clayton, Kurt Manwaring, and probably Mulholland has gone 18-19, so he could go out one more inning. We'll just see how this goes for him. But first up, it's Royce Clayton. Clayton with a deep drive to left field, going back on his horse. He is Mike Kelly, and just short of the warning track, he reaches up and makes the catch, and that's going to be a nice catch for out number 1. Mike Kelly in left makes the good play on Royce Clayton as he gave it a ride. 1 down. Kurt Manwaring to the plate. Manwaring is 0 for 1. He's going to give it a ride too. Straightaway left again. This time, this one's going to hang up for Kelly as he waits under it and makes the catch in deep left. And that's going to be 2 down. Mulholland, let's leave him in there. He doubled in his last at bat. He's been on base twice. He does have an RBI. And here he's going to get another base knock. So pitcher's showing out in this one as he gets on base with a solid single to right. Brings up Darren Lewis. Lewis hits one sharply, and that's going to be to sharply to second base. So Lemke is there, and he's going to go ahead and go the short way, 4-6. And that'll be out number 3. As Maddox gets through another inning and gives up no runs, it is 6-3. The Braves are threatening to get back into this one. Giants are going to roll the dice, metaphorically and literally, and leave Terry Mulholland out there, and we'll see how that goes for them. Braves have Blauser, Jones, and McGriff. 2, 3, 4 coming up for them in the bottom of the 5th inning. This is going to be a foul out, but that's going to be a rare play foul out. So let's see what happens on that. Don't have too many of those. So Blauser, with a fly ball down the left field line, a fan reaches into the field of play and catches the ball. The batter is out. All right, so fan interference, and that's going to be, boy, I don't know how you score that. We're just going to say fan interference, and that's out number one. So a weird play there as Jeff Blauser hits one down the line. Fan reaches over the fence into the field of play, and Bonds is like, hey. And they call him out. So Blauser is down for the first out of the inning. It's going to be Chipper Jones. Hits greater than 240. No, so that's going to be a walk for Chipper as he goes down to first. He's been on base twice now. Chipper standing at first. Freddie Mac Griff is standing there. The crime dog, recent Hall of Famer. And he is going to go down swinging. Actually, he's down on strikes, looking, and that's going to be out number two. Mulholland, just his third strikeout of the day, brings up David Justice. Justice with an opportunity here as Mulholland puts a slide piece on the outside part of the plate. David Justice got all of it, and this is going back to straightaway left, and that's going to be a home run. A two-run jack by Justice brings the Braves within one. So there's that Atlanta firepower in the middle, and after a while, it's going to get to you. So a two-run home run by Dave Justice brings the Braves to 6-5. They're down one now as they send the young catcher Javi Lopez to the plate. This is going to be an error, E7 on Barry Bonds. On a sinking liner, Bonds can't get to it, and it goes off his glove, and that's going to be an E7 ruled by the official scorers in this one. So Mike Kelly to the plate. There's a fly ball that goes out to right center field, and that's going to be a can of corn. That is going to end the inning. The Braves do get two, and they are down by only one score as we head to the top of the sixth inning. Robbie Thompson, Barry Bonds, and Matt Williams. Greg Maddux still in the game. Mulholland still in the game. And Maddux at 27-28. He can go out there this inning, and he is going to be basically, this will be his last hurrah. That second inning was a killer. Just didn't allow him to get deep into the game. So 26 is going to be a hard ground ball to the first baseman, and the first baseman is McGriff. He's going to toss it to Maddux covering, and that's going to be out number one. Robbie Thompson now 2 for 4 with a double and a grand slam. Barry Bonds, relatively quiet, 1 for 3. 23, he's going to get a hold of this one. That was a 4, by the way. It goes out to deep center field. Straight away, on his horse is Marquise Grissom. He is at the wall. He makes the catch. He runs up the wall halfway, and that's going to be out number 2. As Barry Bonds thought he had extra bases there, and Grissom got there for the out. 2 down now, and Matt Williams to the plate. Williams over 2. He is going to ground out here to the shortstop, and the shortstop is Blauser. Makes the routine play over to first. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Giants in the 6th. Nice inning by Greg Maddux to finish things out. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Maddux in this inning. Mulholland's at 23, so that's 18. Definitely more than 23. So let's go ahead and get a bullpen piece in here. I used Dewey before, so let's just go ahead and use him. He had a nice inning. Couple innings, actually. So Mulholland goes 6 innings for the Giants, and he's going to give way to Mark Dewey. Mark Dewey, 31 and 2/3 innings, 3.13 ERA, got into 27 games in 1995. I'll try to use the guys who got into the game for sure. That's going to be in my bullpen or on my bench. And then, just kind of seeing who else should be there at that point. I kind of look at the transactions, who hasn't showed up yet, who got traded for later in the year, that kind of stuff. So try to be a little bit realistic about who I can pull off the bench because we're using the end of the season cards. You have everybody, right? But not everybody was there, like Luis Polonia. They traded for him in August. So, there's some guys that just aren't going to make it in until later. So try to be a little bit realistic about that. First up for Dewey, it's going to be the Limmer, Mark Lemke, 253 average, 5 homers and 38 RBIs in 1995. He's going to start off with a deep drive out to right center field. Lemke batting left-handed this time as he rips it into the gap, and coming over to make the play is going to be Darren Lewis in the gap on the run as he calls off the right fielder Hill and makes the catch for out number 1. Like I said, we're going to have a pinch hitter for Greg Maddux. I'm going to bring in Dwight Smith, former Cub. That's how I always knew Dwight Smith. And he's going to come in to bat in, what is this? This is the 6th inning. So he only goes 5. So Mulholland goes 5, gives up 5 runs. Maddox's day is done. He's gone 6 innings, gives up 6 runs. I don't know how many of them are earned. Looks like all of them. All of them are going to be earned, so that's going to definitely hurt his ERA to start the year. He's probably not going to wind up at 163 at this point. We'll see. So this is going to be Dwight Smith. He is the pinch hitter for Maddux. Smith, 252 average in 147 plate appearances. He is going to, are his hits less than 100? Yes, they are. So he's going to ground out hard to the third baseman. So he goes the opposite way. Dewey runs that fastball away from him, and he hits it hard to third base. No problem for Matt Williams. Good glove man over at third, and he gets Smith by a couple of steps for out number 1. 2 down now with Marquise Grissom coming up. Grissom is 1 for 3. Remember, he struck out last time and it was a wild pitch. They threw him out. 25 is going to be a little line drive. That goes to left field. Coming in hard is Bonds, and on the run, he is going to make the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Dewey as he comes in and does a good job. Braves are out in the 6th. 6-5 game still. And we're going to have to bring in a new pitcher for the Braves. Sorry about that. All of a sudden got a little something in my throat. All right, we're going to bring in Brad Woodall. So Brad Woodall, I was hoping my voice would make it the whole time. Brad Woodall, left-handed relief pitcher, had a long career in the majors, but not so good in 1995. Only 9 games he got into, 6.10 ERA. He'll be facing off against Glenn Allen Hill and Phillips and Clayton. So the Braves shored up their bullpen as they got along in 1995, but the guys they wound up with were not necessarily guys they had at the beginning of the year. But, high leverage situation, maybe I should go with Stanton, but it's kind of early still. We'll see. So they got some pitchers: Stanton, Plants, Wohlers, and McMichael. So they have some A-plus relievers, but we'll see how Woodall does if he gets in trouble. We don't have all those restraints of 3 batters and all that kind of stuff. So Glen Allen Hill facing off against Woodall. 46 is going to be a grounder, and that is right back to the pitcher. Woodall makes the play over to first, and that's going to be out number 1. Glen Allen Hill now 1 for 4. J.R. Phillips had a double back in the second inning. He got everything started in that huge inning. This time he is going to walk as Woodall puts the left fielder or first baseman on base. He's only 1 for 2 in stolen bases, so not a threat to steal. Runner at first with Royce Clayton standing in. He's 1 for 3 with a single. This time he's going to hit a triple, though. That goes out into the left center field gap. Misplayed a little bit out there by Marquise Grissom. And coming around to third, he slides in safely. He is going to be Royce Clayton. That's going to drive in the run from first. And the Giants get their first run since the second inning. And they take the 7-5 lead. So a 2-run lead now for the G-men. Kurt Manwaring standing in with the runner at third base and only 1 out. So an opportunity here, but Manwaring goes down on strikes. That's going to be a strikeout looking for Manwaring as Woodall gets a big second out. That's going to bring up the pitcher spot. Mulholland is out of the game. We brought Dewey in, and so let's go ahead and get a pinch hitter. I'm going to bring in Mark Carrion. Carrion, first baseman for the Giants. Actually got 426 plate appearances. Not sure why he wasn't starting in this game, but we're going to give him the pinch hit here in the 7th. So Woodall against Carrion, lefty against righty. Carrion 17 home runs, 65 RBIs in his 396 at-bats. Here he's got a, if his hits are greater than 130, it's a single. They are not, so he's going to ground out to the lemmer at second base, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. But the Giants do put 1 more on the board. They take the 7-5 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Got to get a new pitcher in there for the Giants. As Duty's day is done, he comes in and throws 1 inning. And not a lot of compelling choices here. Rod Beck, though, had 33 saves back then. What do we need? We need the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. Let's get Jose Bautista and see if he can be the bridge to Rod Beck in the 9th inning. So we have Bautista, who's going to come in for 1, and he'll come in right here. He's going to face off against the middle of the order. Bautista, 3-8 record, 6.44 ERA in 100 2/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing off against Blauser, Jones, and McGriff. Let's see if the Braves can put together a rally in this last third of the game. 35. That's going to be a fly ball that goes out to right center field. And the center fielder is Lewis. He's going to track it down for out number 1. And Blauser is down on that little opposite field fly ball. Chipper Jones now batting left-handed. He stands in 1 for 2. And let's see what he's got here. A 45 is going to be another fly ball. This time down the right field line, Glen Allen Hill hustling over to the line is going to make the play, and that's going to be out number 2. As Chipper got a hold of that one. But stayed in the ballpark. Brings up Freddie McGriff, the crime dog. He is 1 for 2. I never wrote this. That was a single. I'm sorry, he's 2 for 3. With a couple of singles and a strikeout. Here he is. Make sure we're not shifting all over the place. What we got here are the Pitcher's hits greater than 240. They're not. So that's going to be a walk to McGriff as he gets on with 2 outs. Runner on, tying run on, or the tying run at the plate, in the form of Dave Justice. Justice hit a 2-run homer in his last at bat. This time takes a mighty cut and comes up empty as he strikes out swinging against Bautista. Muscle against muscle, and that's going to be out number 3 as Justice, with a runner on, can't come up with a big hit for the Braves. And so we're going to go to the top of the 8th inning. Leave Woodall in there. He can go 6 batters. He's only gone 5. So 25 to, that's going to be a line drive to left field. So coming in hard on it is the left fielder is Mike Kelly. So he's going to make the play in left. He's made some good plays out there to start this season. Robbie Thompson is our batter, second baseman for the Giants. Thompson has a grand slam and a double in this one. Here he's going to hit a little fly ball out to mid-center field. Grissom ranges over into right center, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Barry Bonds stands in. Bonds flied out to center in his last at bat. A lot of action for the center fielders in this one. 34 is his average greater than 299. The pitcher, it is, so that's going to be a base knock for Barry Bonds. He's on for the second time via the hit. Bonds standing at first base. Yeah, and we got Matty Williams coming up. Williams, are his triples greater than 2? They're not. So that's going to be a single. And that's going to push the runner to third base on the base hit. And that puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. So here we have a could be a big hit here for Glen Allen Hill. Are the home runs for the pitcher home runs per 9 less than 0.4? They're not. And so that's going to be a big drive that goes out to deep center field. And looking up is the center fielder Grissom, and that's going to be a 3-run shot from Glen Allen Hill as he goes deep in the 8th inning. And that's going to give the Giants the 10-5 lead, as this one is slipping away from the Braves. The actual score in this one was 12-5 Atlanta, not the Giants. So could be a little reversal of history here. We got a fly ball down the right field line, and that's going to be caught for out number 3, but not before the Giants put up a 3 spot on Brad Woodall in the top of the 8th inning as Phillips flies out for out number 3. All right, we're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is now 10-5. San Francisco, Jose Bautista is still in the game, and he can go. He's gone 4. He can go 9. He could potentially close out this game. We'll see. He's going to be facing off against Lopez, Mike Kelly, and Mark Lemke. Excuse me. This is going to be a deep drive down the left field line. Heading to the line is going to be Barry Bonds, and he's going to be on the run, make the play for out number 1. Javi Lopez flied out a couple of times to Bonds, just like that. Just can't quite get it up over the fence. Brings up Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly is 1 for 2. He is singled and walked in this game. Ours hits less than 100. They are, so that's going to be a hard grounder to the third baseman, Matty Williams. Matty Williams up with it and over to first. Phillips squeezes it for out number 2. Mike Kelly is down. And the Braves are at 2 outs. Mark Lemke has 5 home runs, so that's going to be a ground ball right back to the pitcher. And Bautista is going to go 1-3 on the putout. So that's going to be a 3 up, 3 down inning for San Francisco as they shut down the Braves in the bottom of the 8th. The Braves 3 outs left in this one. They're going to bring in a new pitcher. Brad Woodall is going to be out, and that's going to be room for, let's say, Stanton. And Mike Stanton coming in, and he is going to be here. So Woodall goes 2 innings and gives up just a boatload of runs, and it's going to be Royce Clayton and Kurt Manwaring, and then the pitcher spots. So Royce Clayton is his average greater than 299? It is not, so that's going to be a hard grounder. Right back to the pitcher, and the pitcher, Stanton, stabs it. And hard throw to first is going to get Royce Clayton for out number 1. Kurt Manwaring back to the plate. Manwaring is hitless in this game. He does have a walk with a run scored. Here he's going to, are his hits greater than 130? They're not, and so he is going to ground out to Chipper at third. Chipper with a nice throw over to first, and that's going to be out number 2. We're going to have a pinch hitter here. So Carry On was the hitter before. Let's see what we got here off the bench. We got Steve Scarsoni and John Patterson. Let's put in Patterson. We got a pinch hitter here in the 9th. So we'll say Patterson. Pinch hitting in the 9th. He is a switch hitter, so he'll be hitting right-handed off of Stanton. 205 average, 205 at-bats. And here he's going to hit a little fly ball. That goes out to straightaway right. No problem out there for Dave Justice as he reaches up and makes the play for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down go the Giants in the top of the 9th inning. They're up 10-5, and they are going to, let's see, so they're going to leave Bautista out there, see if he can just clean up the game. I don't like to use too many pitchers. Don't know how we're going to handle all of the different rotations and pitchers and stuff like that, but we'll see. Let's bring in Rafi Belliard to get a little pinch hit here. Opportunity. So Belliard will be pinch hitting in the 9th. Right-handed batter against Bautista. This will be a ground ball to the third baseman, and the third baseman, Williams, over to first for out number 1. Belliard, the pinch hitter, is retired in the 9th inning. 2 outs left for the Braves. Marquise Grissom stands in. Grissom is 1 for 4. This is going to be a strikeout for Grissom. That'll be his second strikeout of the day. That's a strikeout looking. So Bautista gets Grissom looking for out number 2, and that brings up Jeff Blauser. Blauser out on a weird play with a fan interference already in this game. He's 0 for 4. And a 12 is going to be a little line drive. That's to the shortstop Clayton, and he squeezes it for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for the Braves in the 9th, and they go down in this one, this opening day game, 10-5 to the Giants. And not a great start for Maddox as he gives up a 6th spot in the 2nd. Mostly held him down until the 8th. And tried to climb back in this one a little bit, but just couldn't get back up the hill before Woodall gives up 4 runs in the 7th and 8th innings. All right, well, that's going to do it for this game. This is game number 1 out of 162. So I'm going to try to play out this entire replay. I've never done an entire season replay. So the Braves find themselves at 0-1. And the Giants are at 1-0. So the Mets won their game. The Marlins lost theirs. The Expos lost theirs. The Phillies won theirs. So it looks like the Mets and the Phillies will be atop of the NL East, and the Braves, the Expos, and the Marlins will be at the bottom. So we'll see how things go for day number 2, but it'll be a second game against the Giants. This is the game of Dice Baseball. I don't have 95 ready for anybody to purchase yet, but if you want to request it, you can. Otherwise, we have lots of seasons from the 60s and the 70s. Be reaching back into the 50s and also into the 80s to continue to create seasons. 1965, I believe, will be the next season for the game of Dice Baseball. So you'll be able to play with Koufax and others who played in the mid 60s. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. I plan to create a playlist for these videos, so look for it here on the channel that you can watch all the games, and I'll just list them out as, game number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And so you'll be able to follow along with the entire season. If you click subscribe and then you click the bell, you'll be notified every time that I put out a new video. And really, this is going to be mostly it. As far as content on the channel. If you want to request a particular season or a game, I'd be happy to play it, especially with the seasons that are already there. But really excited about this one. Not excited about the result today, but definitely excited to begin. This is my first real long distance replay. I've done some playoffs and some series and stuff like that, but this is the first real long distance replay. So we'll see how this winds up throughout the summer. And I'll continue to use the simulation chart here to sim out the other games every day, and then we'll see where everything stands at the end, see how it shakes out. All right. If you like this video, click the little thumbs up. Like if you don't want to buy the game, but you want to support the channel, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Just give a little like, click thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, and if you want to share it with your community, then that would be awesome too, and I really appreciate that. Thanks for everybody who is supporting the game. Lots of people getting on board with it, and really appreciate that. Okay, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.